The chamber was silent, save for the faint hum of the ship's dormant engines. Dust danced in the beams of blue light that filtered through the cracked hull. Captain Rhys Calder stood at the edge of the stasis pod, eyes locked on the being within. She was unlike anything he'd ever seen, tall, sculpted like a weapon, with cobalt skin and braided strands of hair that shimmered like midnight. Armor clung to her like a second skin, wicked curves of metal and bone interlaced in an artistry of war. But her eyes were closed. She had been asleep for centuries, according to the ship's log, at least. Last living member of the Xelari, Rhys murmured, wiping grime from the control panel. Extinct. Or so they thought. He'd stumbled onto the derelict vessel while scavenging near the maelstrom expanse. The wreck had drifted into a dead zone. No signals, no AI, just silence and shadows. But the stasis field keeping her alive still pulsed. Whatever tech they used, it was far beyond anything humans had. Rhys wasn't a soldier anymore. He had fought in the Titan Wars, lost too many good people, seen too much fire. Now, he wandered the edge of space with his patched-up cruiser, Nomad's Mercy, salvaging relics, and avoiding anything that smelled like a cause. And yet, this alien warrior stirred something in him. Not just awe. Not just curiosity. A pull. He visited her every day, talking to the sealed pod like a madman, telling stories, sharing silence. She never moved until the 23rd day. That morning, her lips twitched. Rhys stared for a full minute before daring to breathe. You're waking? No response. Later, when he touched the glass again, her eyes still hadn't opened. But her hand, just slightly, had curled. Fingers flexed as if grasping an invisible blade. He didn't report it. Didn't call the Interstellar Archive. Didn't sell her location. Instead, he cleaned her chamber. Patched wires. Whispered old songs.
He didn't know why.
Maybe because she looked like she'd seen war and needed rest. Or maybe because she reminded him what beauty looked like, even after ruin. And then it happened. It was the 49th day. The stasis chamber glowed dimly as Rhys entered, his hands full of fresh nutrient packs and a thermos of lukewarm coffee. He paused, watching her face. She looked peaceful, regal, tragic. A single strand of her braided hair had slipped down over her cheek. Rhys leaned forward, hesitating. This is probably the dumbest thing I've ever done, he whispered. But if you can hear me, thank you for surviving. He reached down. His hand trembled, and he kissed her, lightly, just once, on the lips, not as a lover, not as a conqueror, but as someone saying goodbye. The stasis chamber exploded with light. Rhys was thrown back as alarm screamed, and the pod's shell hissed open. Blue steam poured into the room, thick and electric. He stumbled, coughing, vision blurred. When the fog cleared, she stood awake, towering, glowing,
alive.
Her eyes were twin stars burning with fury and something else. Recognition. Rhys barely had time to lift his hands. I didn't mean to. The warrior lunged. Pain lanced through him as her armored hand slammed him against the bulkhead. Her claws were at his throat. Her voice was a jagged blend of metal and fire. Who dares wake the daughter of war? Rhys wheezed. That'd be me. Her eyes narrowed. You are not of the high blood. You do not bear the mark. Nope, he rasped. Just a dumb human with a salvage license and bad judgment. Her grip tightened, then softened. She inhaled deeply, her expression unreadable. You performed the rite. What rite? He choked. The kiss of life, she said coldly. A sacred vow. Among my kind, it is given only by a mate or a traitor. Rhys blinked. What? She released him. He slid to the floor, gasping. She turned away, arms crossed. Your lips woke me. That means one of two things. Either you seek union, or you challenge my honor. Rhys coughed. How about neither? She glanced over her shoulder. Too late. The bond is formed. The choice is mine now. Choice. Whether I mate you or kill you. Rhys spent the next 6 hours locked in the medbay, bleeding and confused. Her name was Veelanthra, last of the Xelari Prime Guard. Born of war. Trained from youth to defend the Sovereign Sons. Her species had a genetic stasis failsafe, only triggered by a biological signal from one who dared cross the intimacy threshold.
A kiss.
A bond.
A spark.
It had kept them safe from enemy infiltration. But now it had made him the trigger. Veelanthra paced the halls like a shadow of vengeance. Her body healed rapidly. Her mind absorbed the ship's history and logs at terrifying speed. And Rhys couldn't help but notice she hadn't killed him yet. The next day, she sat in the mess hall, examining human food with disdain. Rhys entered cautiously. So, decided whether to mate or murder? She tilted her head. You amuse me, human. He chuckled nervously. That's better than dying. Veelanthra looked at him fully then. You showed respect to my resting form. You repaired my ship. You did not violate my honor. And yet you dared the rite. I didn't know it was a rite. But you felt it meant something, she said softly. That is enough. She stood, walked to him. Among my kind, she said, we do not kiss lightly. It is a promise, a challenge, a declaration. Rhys swallowed hard. Which one was mine? She smirked. We shall find out. In the weeks that followed, Veelanthra began repairing her systems, with Rhys as reluctant assistant. Her ship slowly came to life again, its AI whispering in an ancient tongue. She trained in the cargo bay, blades spinning like comets.
And at night they talked. About war. Loss.
Loneliness. They were from different worlds, but pain, it seemed, was universal. One evening, Rhys handed her a repaired comms unit. You could call your people, if they're still out there. She nodded. Perhaps. Or perhaps I am meant to build anew. With who? She stepped closer. With the one who dared wake a Xelari. Rhys chuckled. That sounds like mating talk. She leaned in, eyes glowing. It is. He froze. Are you sure? He asked. Because I'd rather be alone forever than force something on you. She smiled, softly, genuinely. You didn't force anything. You gave me a choice when I thought I had none left. And this time, she kissed him. Not as a queen, not as a soldier, but as someone finally waking, not for revenge, but for love.